Hello friend and welcome back once again to Gary Grigsby's War in the East. Once again here in the Stalingrad to Berlin campaign. And I actually think with the weather still being like this, let's actually take a look at the weather here. It's bad, but it's not that bad, I think. There are no blizzards on any of the areas that we're fighting on, so that's good. They do expect that to be the case during the next turn. The ground will be mostly snow, either which way. So let's just leave the planes on the ground once again for the continuation here. It does seem like the right thing to do. I'll also go over some of the metrics from last turn. Haven't done that yet. Of course, we did see that there are no major events, I think, again, but we'll see here. So as we're coming up on everything, did get a kind of a nasty surprise here at Novaya Ladoga. Not sure how many guys there are in there, but we'll have to see. Either way, Soviets are still mustering 5.37 million men, whereas we're on 3.2. Going back though for a bit, they're at close to 8,000 tanks on the field, 85,000 guns, so we're clearly outgunned. As I'm struggling with something in my eye here. It's getting hay fever season again. It's a bit problematic for me. Total Soviet losses. This is a very weirdly. This is not a good good number because it started in 1942 with a very odd number there. So that's not correct. Definitely. Total men for the Soviets only went down by like 50k. Total guns, like, obviously they're still high above us. Total AFVs actually going up here, interestingly enough, even though their manpower losses were still excessive. Same for gun losses and AFV losses. Aircraft losses, yeah. As for the fuel stores, ours are still exceptionally low. So that oil stores aren't getting any better, they're stagnant. So yeah, that kind of stuff is also a bit problematic. As for the reinforcements, I do want to take a look here as well, just to see what arrived. This Romanian infantry division arrived in the reserves. Norway map. Norway. These are all small units, except for some of these more important ones that arrive on the map. Flag on the map, really? Huh. Might have to send it back to the Western Theater. Panzer or 5th Panzer Army did arrive too, and the North SS Mountain Division did so too. That's quite a bit. Let's take a look again at the Western Front. So they don't have enough. Norway. I cannot move any. So nothing to be done there. Finland has still 100. They have a bit of air day, but I do think it also takes away from the ground a little bit of combat. Otherwise, let's see what that does. Because I definitely would get some to Western Europe here. These stats go down slightly. It's not even super much. Something like this mixed flag is certainly heavier. Let's see how it goes now. 100, 105. So I really need to stop here before it becomes too bad. Which makes sense as well. Finnish cavalry. I really wonder how those Finnish cavalry squads look like. Huh. That was Finnish report. Alright. I was like looking at the pictures. I think the guy who did this mod did an exceptional job at that. So always a pleasure looking at these. I would almost call them piece of art. It looks super nice at that. I thought the Finnish also had some even heavier howitzers, like heavier than 152. It's like a 300 something. Well, certainly it wouldn't be in the regular ones. Really? That cannot be the heaviest that they have. Well, never mind that. Anyway, the garrison is not enough now. 99. Africa 107. But yeah, that's fine. Italy is at 105 in terms of ground now, interestingly enough. I have a little bit to take away from air here. If I could send them, but I just can't. Kind of sad, but if Italy is 105, then I cannot send anything away. Never mind. Alright, so besides everything, there's just not a whole lot I can do except still send a little bit here. From the Axis reserves, the one thing that I okay, I can't move these, but I certainly will move those next turn. There seems to be nothing I can move really. All of these are definitely in pretty bad status except for the 257th Heavy Flak Battalion. They will have to go to Western Europe. I would expect all of these to be in refit, but like automatically? But they just get to ready. Not sure whether I should be putting them on refit, but I guess we can, since they're just in such a deplorable state. Maybe I just should. I actually have to take a look whether that's a great picture. Whether that has any effect, really. Whether it's even necessary, I don't necessarily think so, but it probably cannot hurt. I mean, I would personally assume that most likely they would try to refit them as much as possible either way. But that's just me. It sure is a lot though. But it's only because I neglected doing this for a very long time. And it's not as if I can do this automatically, I think. Well, maybe actually I could go through the command box and then only check for units that are here. Croatian Infantry Division. They're at 59. They're TUI then. They're going to the Balkans, quite naturally, since it's the Croatian Infantry Division. Why is their TUI so low? Mostly infantry guns. And artillery. They do take German stuff, so it's not generic like some of the other things. Did find that pretty interesting, that generic stuff, but alright, so they're just completely looking for German stuff there. Let's just put everything here on refit. One thing I find weird is that the Sturm infantry battalions, I mean, maybe they have an excessive amount of pioneer squads. Like, they do have a special TOE. And they're not getting disbanded, so they will stay a Sturm infantry battalion through any means. They're only supposed to have 3 engineer squads. It's not as if they're that special anyway. That's just weird. Right, here we go. Let's take a look at the reinforcements that did arrive. First of all, we have the Narva SS Estonian Infantry Battalion with some Panzer Shreks, so we have some actual bazooka anti-tank guns there. Just again looking at these pictures here. Rifle Squad 43, is this already the new ones? Let's send them up to the north. I'm not one to tend to go for the historical things necessarily, but I can always move them a bit further. They can't unload anyway, and I probably will, but there's just a bunch of units on the actual place where I'll probably want to get them anyway. There's the Nordis's Mountain Division. How well are they doing? I'm gonna send those to the Caucasus. Through Rostov. I'm sure that's where they'll be put to the best use. I'm saying I'm sure, but I'm hoping that's where they'll be put to the best use. Nothing there. This is not another thing. No. Okay, so now we have to look down because there's a lot of stuff coming in here from the south. Not only with 5th Panzer Army under Walter Neering. And I mean, that's normally prone for Africa. I'm inclined to send it up to 9th Army because it's so overburdened and there are a lot of units here. I think it will be put to the best use there in that regard. So let's just let's send it up here to Vyazma, or as close to Vyazma as possible, I suppose. And then it can offload on the next turn. There should be a few Hungarian units, or at least one. Yeah, and then also some Romanian ones that we already did see over here. So these guys can get all the way to Vornaj. And we'll have the Romanian units move their way up to for Shilovgrad here for the moment. And then they can offload on the next turn. Somewhere around that area. Again, the shuffling around of units is definitely important here. I don't want to miss a thing in that regard either. Let's take a look. Because I do have the 334th Infantry Division coming up that way. Alright, I'll take it. Let's move in here first, and then interestingly they cannot get into that mountain hex. But it doesn't really matter if they go up, they're kind of blocked anyway. This is one division. So 46. These guys are all part of one unit here. Anyway, two. The other parts also need to move. And, wow, that's a lot of units. I'll split these up. I mean, ultimately, the only thing that I've achieved for now is the encirclement of the Naval Rifle Brigade, 30th Rifle Division, and the 32nd Guards Rifle Division. But even if I only cleared that, it does allow me to stack my units a little bit more effectively. So I might be able to actually get to Wapsa if I play my cards right. And then if I do that, these guys are completely isolated and they'll be in more trouble. There's obviously also a huge gap here, and I'm quite sure they'll have Sukumi defended as well. It doesn't give any points either, obviously. So that's also pretty rough, I guess. One thing it does is this free up some units. So let's move this part down too. And I can keep the rest of those units there. I can stack it like this. That's fine. You guys are okay, and they're okay too, interestingly enough. Let's actually put them on Neftagorsk, because I don't want them to be intervened. I don't think these guys have to be on refit anymore. Certainly I don't want to have them on refit when they do have the manpower. Now here. Yeah, let's put them on already. Funnily enough, yeah, they're the only ones I can put on static. To be honest though, I actually kind of would put them on static. How are you guys? 48. So they also have to be put on refit, huh? I would have thought that they wouldn't be. That's... or that they would be in such a deplorable state down there. You're okay. You're okay, and you're probably okay too at that point, yeah. But then let's put you in static mode. That will give me some trucks and an EP. I'd like that. These guys not gonna move anyway. And I'll do the same here. And I do welcome the trucks and the AP quite a bit, so sure, why not? I really don't see why not. Yeah, how much manpower do I have in the pool anyway? Armaments pool, it's all the way down there. Manpower pool, it's actually going up, so at least for me, so I actually do have more manpower that I can possibly get to the front. I wonder if I can see it individually, like for the other Axis powers. I don't know whether or how that's divided anyway. Yeah, we can basically see here indeed that for the Soviets they got a lot of manpower here on turn 3, and then after that it's basically been just kind of stagnant or down, but not significantly down at that from the numbers. So we've been pretty straightforward, you know, or pretty consistent here with their manpower pool every single turn. Okay, so that's a 2 core. Let's actually see how good they are, because this is actually a mech commander. He is pretty low admin too. Good morale and stuff, but I'd actually rather have a 7 infantry. Which should definitely still be available, I think. Because this guy, for example, has 7 inf and then also 6 admin, so that already makes him better. Let's see. But let's actually save that guy. Let's go for Theodore Scherer here. Which is still better than what we had before. I guess maybe not necessarily on morale, but I do like the 7 infantry here. And then for this score, he has also 3-6, 7-6-6. Let's switch him up. 7-6-6, but this one, Wilhelm Stemmermann. I wonder if that's the guy who got trapped in the Cherkasy pocket. It's that Stimmerman. Well, either which way, he has better infantry, so that should help out a bit, hopefully. How is the 17th Army doing anyway? They only have construction battalions there? Okay, that's good. Now, I have this here Romanian infantry. How is the 4th Romanian Army doing? They have 1, and then these 2. So there's technically the 7th Romanian Corps. I could put these guys on them, but then I would need to ship them up. And currently that's just not really something that I'm really looking to do. It does look like a majority of this territory is once again empty, so I should probably, you know, try to grab that stuff. And try to clear the units that are here. If they don't have anything here to... Like, I think your best choice is usually just with going with infantry, but... Well, most certainly you're going as far as possible, getting off of the train. I might even put them as far. Oh yeah, that's gorgeous. That's drop dead gorgeous. Being able to put that 320th Infantry Division. Look, this unit is stacked. 52% supplies. I mean, it's that's just almost a miracle for guys like here. But they have good ammo. That's the most important actually. All those supplies that I dropped there just got soaked right up immediately, which makes sense too. I do have a little bit of a cold here, so that's always unfortunate. Oh, should I be aggressive here or not? That is always an interesting thing to think about. I can actually encircle that core, but I'm quite sure they have another core up in there. And okay, let's actually start by doing this. So Now we, you know, get all that territory, at least. No weird stuff. And if I go by train, they'd get kind of stuck and they'd block the entire railroad here just to get there. Otherwise, I'd have them get into this rough patch, trying to hold the area with this mountain division. Which I think in itself too is not even such a bad thing to do. Let's see. 17th Army cannot take any more units though. Even if I take out the Radvaar or the Plateau Cossack regiment. At 1500. It's probably generic cavalry, yeah. Well, the thing is, I could send the Cossacks up. I don't think they're gonna do that much here. But then I would be putting the Cossacks under, say, 1st Panzer. I could do that. Then they'd be moving out, so I'll be sending them to Makeup first. They would actually have to go and refit. I mean, they're still above 70%, so let's just put them at the ready. Thus, unburden them a little bit, and then if I just mix up one of these guys down here, that puts me at fine. And I do want to put a little bit more oomph on everything here. Alright, that's everything under control here. That's good. We'll see how it works with this line. It's probably not going to be amazing, but... Let's put the Radvaar Infantry Regiment... well, actually, let's see. So, I then need the 49th Mountain Corps. I need you guys in the 49th Mountain Corps. I'll put it to a 9 straight away. We have the 52nd Corps, which can still take that. Whoop. And that doesn't overburden 1st Panzer. So the only problem there is that these guys, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I put you here, can I effectively do that? I could. Oh crap, it does not leave me wiggle room for these, so in that case they're too far away, so I'd have to reshuffle here. Ay caramba. Alright, well, I'll think it through on how to deal with that. I might actually pull these guys back a bit and reshuffle everything up there too. It's a bit of a complicated situation at that. And the best thing, I suppose, is to have my units be able to work things out. I mean, I have in total 20,000 men there. Level 1 fortification. Potentially level 2 by that time. In this city, we're also level 1 fort. How much are we willing to give up? If I have only 9th Infantry Division, will I hold out? Because ideally, I'll do this and this, and that should technically benefit both parts there. Because this should still be good. It makes it so that they have a little bit less, because the 317th is back together again. The 370th Infantry Division was formed in February 1942 in the Reims area of France as part of the 19th Wave. It contained the 666th, 667th, and 668th Infantry Regiments, 370th Schnelle Battalion, 370th Artillery Regiment, and various support units. Troops were provided from the 302nd, 304th, 320th Infantry Divisions of the 15th Army. The division was sent to the Eastern Front as soon as its organization was completed, fought in the Meuse River Front, at Rostov in the Caucasus, and at the Kuban bridgehead. Okay. After the retreat through the Ukraine, the division was surrounded and destroyed at Kishinev in Bessarabia in August and September 1944. The few survivors not present when the division was encircled were returned to France and used to help rebuild the 76th Infantry Division. Alright, well, that's something. These guys are not very powerful, but at least this is a pretty defendable area. At least that's what I was looking for anyway. As long as I'm getting all of these hexes, I'm actually quite pleased at taking back that stuff. Yeah, oh, wow. It wasn't particularly the intention, but let's move in here, take those hexes too, and just move back. I don't like the AI just kind of like casually taking those hexes out of nowhere and then not having anything to cover it up, but yeah, I'll take back that stuff one hex at a time. Like, they might actually have a unit in there, but yeah, it's just weird. I'll continue to do a bit of reorganization and stuff like that for the moment. So didn't I already have one here? Yeah. Get off of the train and actually start working on that double rail here a bit. Let's wait on getting here immediately, but I might actually go there. Like, the rails does go into Vornage, so get off. And I have that part already ready. I don't think there's going to be anything there, it seems like. They said no. So we fixed it up at Svoboda, but it does not seem like this. I just messed that up there. Right. Well, I only need it up there anyhow, so I'll just move back. So I can take this here part. So it does mean that I need to push them a bit further from Fordash any which way. Since, I mean, this is still going to work from Svoboda and then up here, but it's not full circle, so that is still a problem. And obviously the Soviets pushed up to this rail line, which I'd really like to get back. But let's see. So at the very least, let's just take a bit of a peek at the Hungarians. So you're fine. No support units. You're also fine. What is their entrench? Construction value is 28. Not bad. They'll be able to get to level 1 forts on the next turn with a bit of luck in the woods. Which is much better than the position they held there previously. You're still in refit. There's no need. Let's get them to ready. And you're at ready too. These guys are all just 8. That's fine. Then we'll get the. Let's see. Okay, those are in a bit of a tangle, but not overly so. Although I do want to get these guys back together again. 336 Infantry Division. I do have these other units here, but that too, it's not a big deal. They... What are you part of? The 7th? Okay. Yeah, I get it now. Fair enough. These guys shouldn't be too powerful anymore. It's just mainly about holding it. Is this light woods? No. So, at the bare minimum, I want to get these guys into the light woods. This is also clear terrain. Not enjoying that at all. Making a line through here and here. If I'm not gonna move forward anymore at all, might just be a starting point. Obviously 56th Infantry Division is not in great shape. So they by themselves might not even, you know, they might have to go back. This is just a little fun excursion to the other side. If I were actually serious about holding that. The shitty thing is that I cannot get into the city itself. Let's just move up like this. That's a bit further than I might want to. But okay, so I have to do that. Put a depot here, right? Like, I'll put you in there. Sure. Let's take Lipetsk. Sure. I mean, I'm never getting to Tambov anyway, but one thing this does do is alleviate the well, they have a unit here or here. It does alleviate the pressure on Orel. I think really otherwise you would have a pretty serious fight on your hands if you don't do something like this. So even if my units get weakened a little bit, it is definitely beneficial in terms of time. Like it saves me a lot of time to be on the offensive. The Soviets will have to fight their way through the same piece of territory once again. So in that regard, it's wow. disaster. Huh. Alright. Did get a part of it. But there was some tough fighting then. Let's get that rail unit. Building this piece of rail also has been an absolute nightmare. But the Veliki Luki Reserve rail line here. I'm sure it will be of great benefit, but it sure is taking its time. Let's see. So neither of these can do a heavy attack on the 5th Guards Rifle Corps in there. Okay, wow. That too is pretty serious. Let's try another one, but that's probably not gonna work out. Interesting. And another 300 plus. Wow. I'm seriously amazed at those numbers. What do we have here? It also seems like the Soviets are really not getting worn out all that much. 26,000 on the single rifle division. That's also something. Okay. I guess of course there are also like 3 airfields that I guess do become a bit of a problem here. Let's get another infantry division towards that region to aid in that attack against the single Guards Rifle Corps that is holding up valiantly. We're getting these to single hex areas, but it's still a thing. Quite a bit. Let's also take those hexes and take the Borvich Depot. Let's move in here. I want to at least get the enemy away from the double rail for quite a bit. Now, this is the, yeah. That's those guys. It seems like these guys got some nice reinforcements. So, what I'll do, that's a bit weird. Bam, bam, bam. I want to rotate that unit. Meanwhile, let's put the Netherlands as an infantry regiment under the 42nd Corps. And I hope they're, yeah, they're now overburdened. Okay. Fine. Let's just do it like this then. No, they're not. And this is quite a bit stronger than what we had before, which is good because it was problematic before anyway. One of the things that I could do is use the security division as an attack force. 9. I could attack the rifle division here. Let's see, because the river runs like this, so it does give me at least a position across the Neva. If I attack, and I succeed there. Yeah, let's try that. It did work. They retreated in there. And I mean, I'm just gonna put these guys in there now. That seems to be the only unit that can get into that hex. I guess these guys could too. They are overburdened. Are they no, they're not an assault army. That'd be weird. How is 18th? Because 18th army's up here. They have too much. 16th army not. If I switch things up, 888 is 24, so I would need another core in there, so that's no good. Yeah, the tricky part is that I will have 2 overburdened units here now. 42nd Corps. They would still have to get in there. I mean, my next attack would be on Colpino. Yeah, because I'm still not going to be able to very effectively beat these 2 rifle divisions here, and this is also too tough. They'll probably even try to attack back and probably do a pretty good job at it. Well, we'll see how that goes. I'm just happy to get a foothold across the Neva here already. I wonder if they're already weakened at that, any which way. Let's also clear out this, so... And here. That should do the job. Sweet. Okay. Now technically that clears up these 4 units. That's a lot. There's nothing else that can go in there. So I really need the 96th. Over into these lightwoods. I mean, I'm taking any hex towards Chestroy that I can get, so... I could put you here as well. That's probably also good, so it's easier to attack onto that hex on potentially the next turn. They do have a 4 though. But if I were to be able to get them out of Colpino, then I can threaten this next hex right next to Leningrad. And once I do that, then I have my sights on this hex. These heavy woods, which would also be insanely challenging to defeat. One of the nicer things... No, it doesn't actually help the rail here. Never mind. Does it even work? Like, I don't think it does up here. No, it does not. None of it works. because the Soviets are too close. This would work though. Up there. Let's see. I could be using these even in an attack towards Volkhov, but on the other hand, I could use the SS Latvian to move in there. They don't seem to be that powerful. What else can I put in there? Supposedly plenty, and these guys are not gonna attack any which way. None of the other guys will. So I guess I'm better off probably just doing this, still moving you into this hex, and then actually attacking with all these. Yeah, they're not gonna hold there. Maybe even a route, that would be the best. It's a lot of AA battalions. Nice. And it's just a retreat too. I also lost 10 tanks or 10 Stuks or anything else. They must still be attached to something. Yeah, here we go. Let's take that out. It's no longer needed, I think. Let's put both of these in Volkhov. Now, the fight towards this area is going to be even more intense. Ooh. That's what I call lucky. As well, now, I need a little reorganizing. 1, 2, 3, this is the 38th. 38th right there. That's those 4. Then I need you under the 1st Corps. Just like that. I'm probably still gonna move that around or move these around. Let's see, because I can even take a hex like this, but I mean, swamps aren't that valuable. The goal there, however, would be to surround this Nibolochi there, or sorry, Budogosh, I suppose. These guys aren't like super powerful either. Let's at least move one here. And if I move in there, there's no unit that I could put into this hex. They could cut me off. Except you. But these guys cannot go back either way. That did not go as greatly as planned. How bad is it if they were to surround that unit? Pretty bad, I think. I'll just think about it for a while. The mountain division isn't... It's not even doing that badly. I was thinking about putting a unit in Trudovo as a bit of reorganizing. How are you? 61. Let's just do that. And put you under the first. It's like that. And then I have the 28th here. And I have these guys on refit over here, ready to go up. As well. Right, and these guys are then also ready to go up, technically. So we'll have a little bit more. It will take a bit of time at least to shuffle the units around here. I also don't know what these guys are likely going to do, but if I could take Kobona, then they're trapped. If I move in there, it's not much, but any little bit helps. This, of course, is going to be very tricky to get through up here, if we can. But now at least there's also the hope of being able to attack across the river, although I would argue that all of those guys are probably going to attack this. Anyway, I think that will be it for this episode. Yeah. I want to thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. That too is a lot of units that they have on reserve. I don't like seeing stuff like that. Same here, obviously. Yeah, anyway. We'll continue in the next episode. Thanks for watching. Take care. See you next time. Bye-bye.